All right, let's dive into something that's, well, absolutely essential for any IT pro out there. VxRail Troubleshooting. And look, this isn't just about putting out fires. It's really about getting to know your hyper-converged infrastructure inside and out so you can keep it humming along perfectly.
Oh man, you know the feeling, right? Your cluster is down, alarms are just screaming at you, and everyone's looking at you. It's that heart in your stomach moment. So, where do you even start? Well, that panic, that chaos, that's exactly what we're going to get you ready for today.
Okay, so let's take a step back and define what we're actually talking about. At its heart, troubleshooting is really a methodical process. Think of yourself as a detective. You're on the hunt for clues, you're trying to piece together the symptoms, and then you come up with a solid plan to get things back in order. Honestly, this is the secret sauce to keeping your whole environment running smoothly.
So, let's frame this a little differently. This isn't just another task on your to-do list, it's a mission. Your job is to restore and maintain the health of your digital ecosystem. And like any good mission, you're going to need the right tools for the job.
So let's talk about what's in your toolkit. We're going to go over the essentials here, the big 3 tools that you'll probably turn to for, I'd say 90% of the problems you're going to face.
Okay, tool number 1, and this is the big one, VxRail Manager. Seriously, think of this as your command center, your mission control. It's that single pane of glass that gives you the health of your entire cluster. So whenever you even think something might be wrong, this is where you go first, always.
And using it couldn't be easier. You just log in, and boom, the dashboard is right there, showing you all the vital signs. It's a simple question. Are we looking at all green, or is there a sea of red alerts? And from that main screen, you can just click and drill down into any part of the system that looks like it's having a bad day. It's built to take you from that 30,000-foot view right down to the nitty-gritty details.
All right, next up in our toolkit, we have the vSphere client. Now, vSphere Manager is about the health of the appliance as a whole. vSphere is your microscope for the virtualization layer. We're talking about getting deep into your hosts, your VMs, and seeing exactly what resources they're using or abusing.
So what are you hunting for in here? You're looking for those pesky performance bottlenecks. You know, is one of your hosts just getting slammed with its CPU pinned at 100%? Or maybe you open the Events tab and it's just a waterfall of failed tasks. These are the classic clues that tell you, hey, maybe the problem isn't the hardware itself, but how the virtual resources are being managed.
And that brings us to tool number 3, which is, honestly, the ultimate source of truth, the log files. You know, when the pretty dashboards just aren't giving you the full picture, the logs are where you find the real story. Every single event, error, and operation, it's all in there, raw and unfiltered.
And the best part is how easy they've made it to collect them. You can pull a whole system log bundle right from VxRail Manager for any software-level stuff. If you think it's a hardware problem, you can jump into the iDRAC, that's the Integrated Dell Remote Access Controller, and get hardware-specific logs. And of course, for anything to do with vSphere or vSAN, you grab those from vCenter. Honestly, just knowing which log bundle you need is half the battle right there.
Okay, we've got our tools. We're ready to go. So let's tackle our first mission, fighting the #1 villain in pretty much any data center, the dreaded network failure.
And when the network goes down, it's not subtle. It's usually super obvious, and everything just stops. Suddenly your nodes can't see each other, you can't get into your management UIs, and really important stuff like vMotion or vSAN traffic just starts failing left and right. The whole system just grinds to a painful halt.
And you know what? 9 times out of 10, the cause is something surprisingly simple. It's almost always a misconfiguration. We're talking a wrong VLAN tag, a switch port that's not set up right, or, and this one gets people all the time, an inconsistent MTU setting. That happens a lot because, you know, one switch has one default, the node has another, and they just don't match up. So the name of the game is validate, verify, and test everything.
So here's your game plan. First thing you do, run the built-in network validation tool in VxRail Manager. It's there for a reason. Then you got to go through and systematically check that your VLANs are tagged correctly for all your different kinds of traffic. And double, triple check that your MTU is set to 9,000 for jumbo frames across the board on your switches and your nodes. After all that, a simple little ping or trace route can be that final beautiful confirmation that you've nailed it.
Okay, so you've conquered the network beast. But just when you think you can relax, a new kind of trouble pops up. Users start complaining about performance. And that brings us to our next big challenge, tackling those mysterious storage slowdowns.
Yeah, see, unlike a network outage, which is like a light switch being flipped off, storage problems are more like a slow leak. The system isn't down, it's just
painfully slow. You'll hear about high latency, VMs that feel like they're wading through molasses, and you might notice that one of your nodes is doing all the heavy lifting while the others are coasting.
And the cause usually boils down to one of three things. 1, your vSAN data is all bunched up on one side, it's not balanced. 2, you've got a disk that's on its last legs and is about to fail. Or 3, the network that vSAN relies on, its backbone, is just getting choked. So it makes sense that our plan is to check the system's health, try to rebalance that data, and take a close look at the physical disks themselves.
So here's what you do. Your very first stop should be the vSAN health check inside the vSphere client. It is an amazing tool. Seriously. If it tells you things are imbalanced, great. You can just kick off a rebalance right from VxRail Manager. And if that health check points a finger at a specific disk, you can pop into iDRAC to confirm it's failing, and then you just get it replaced. Boom, problem solved.
All right, so we've been in firefighter mode, and we've won. But you know what separates a good admin from a great admin? Great admins don't just fix problems, they stop them from happening in the first place. So, this last part is all about shifting our mindset from being reactive to being proactive.
And if you really want to level up your game, these are the tools you need to get comfortable with. You've got the ESXi command line for when you need to get super granular. There's Dell's Secure Remote Services, or SRS, which can be a lifesaver by automating support. And then there's VMware Skyline, which is almost like having a crystal ball. It uses analytics to predict problems before they happen. This is the expert's toolkit right here.
But you know, being proactive isn't just about fancy tools. It really comes down to solid best practices. Make it a daily habit to check on your cluster's health. Set up some smart alerts so you know about issues early. And please, always check the simple stuff first. Cables, network settings, you know the drill. And one more thing, a really big one. Document everything. Write down what broke and how you fixed it. Trust me, the next person you help might just be future you.
And that really brings us to the most important question. Okay, you fixed today's problem, but what are you doing to prevent tomorrow's? Because that's the real goal, isn't it? It's not just about the fix. It's about taking what you learn from every single issue and using it to build a stronger, more stable, and just plain better system for the future.